Hey, how's it going? This is Justin Gilman with Quantum Leads, and today I'll be walking you through your digital marketing attack plan to show you how you could turn your website into a lead generation machine and really generate some revenue for your business month over month through the use of SEO. Now, if we take a look at the top here, you'll see that we have AC Repair San Antonio plugged into the search bar, which generates about 1,600 searches every single month. Now, to get an idea, that's not the only thing that we're limited to, but we're going to focus in on this search term for the sake of time in this video. However, you have to think that there's so much more volume out there because you have things like AC installation, AC repair near me, and just all these other variations of this search term. So definitely something to think about when you think about the grand scheme of things. But like I said, for this video, we're going to focus on this 1600 volume search term. And, let's get into it and talk about how we can improve your search appearance, starting with your website. And the first one we're going to talk about is internal search engine optimization. Now, I noticed that you had a back page specifically for AC repair, so I decided to build this video out towards that. However, this is going to apply to your entire website or any other pages you're going to build in the future. So, what is internal SEO? Now, internal SEO is essentially all the different ways we can improve your website search appearance from within the website itself. Now, if we scroll down here, you're going to notice a lot of things about your website. I think it's very visually aesthetic. However, from an SEO perspective, there's a lot of work that can be done. Now, like I said, with internal SEO, it's everything we can do from within your website. And oftentimes you're going to hear fancy things like title tags, heading tags, local business schema. But for the sake of this video, we're just going to focus on the two most important things, which are content and keywords. Now, let's talk about content for a minute. Why is content so important? Well, having a very contentful website tends to get a little bit more favorable results from Google search engine when it comes to ranking. And this makes sense when you really think about it because content gives users something to engage with. When a user has something to engage with, they have a better experience and tend to come back to either your website or Google in the future for future searches. So it makes sense that Google would want to promote your website because it also brings them more business in the future, making it a win-win situation. Now, right now your website doesn't have a lot of content on it, specifically on this page. Normally, I like to recommend about 750 to 1,000 words on any given page. That way you have a very contentful page without sacrificing that visual aesthetic. Now, we can't just have any content though, because I know you're probably thinking, well, Justin, why don't I just throw up a website with 3,000 words on it and call it a day? I'll rank number one. And while that sounds good, it doesn't work because we have to keep our content relevant. And the way we do that is with keywords. Now, keywords are the most used words or phrases on a website, and based on these keywords, Google's going to determine what your website is about. So it's very important that we keep these keywords very industry specific. Normally, I like to tell people that we like to answer the three main questions for Google, which are, what do you do? Where do you do it? And who are you? What is your business? So let's see if we can answer those three main questions using your current keywords. And if not, then I'll give you the proper keyword layout that I use for all of my websites. So here we are in Keywords Everywhere. This is a keyword tool I use. Now, if you scroll down, you're going to notice your most used keyword is air. And that's good. That's great, actually. A lot of people in the AC industry use air as the number one keyword. However, your number two keyword is check. Now, normally I recommend that your number one and two keywords be industry specific. Number one being the industry. So in this case, air works, but you could also have AC there. And then if we had a number two industry specific keyword, it would be a complement to that first keyword. So if we have AC at number one, we want repair or installation at number two. So check doesn't really fit there. However, you can slide it down in your keywords. Now, number three and four, I always recommend using your location. This is going to build a lot of local authority and help you drive more traffic in the area. So in this case, number three would be San Antonio, and number four would be Texas. Like I said, to really drive that local traffic. Now, number five and six, I always recommend putting your brand at 5 and 6. The reason being is that a lot of people think just because they own a domain that they automatically rank number one for their business name. And that's not necessarily true because there's always a chance that somebody across the United States or maybe in another country has the same business name as you or a very similar business name as you and ranks for the same name or on a national level ranks for that same brand. But let's talk about your competitors for a second and see what type of keywords they're using and what type of content they're using for their websites. So here we have Comfort Boys, and they rank on the first page organically for San Antonio AC repair. And let's see why that is. You're going to notice that they have a ton of content on this home page. In fact, it's over 2,500 words of content on this homepage, which is giving them a lot more favorable results on Google. Obviously, that isn't enough to rank you number one just within itself. You need those other SEO factors, but let's take a look at how relevant this content is for them. They do have a lot, but let's check the keywords. So here we have Comfort Boys and keywords everywhere. And if we scroll down here, you'll notice that they have their location at number one. They have San Antonio. Then they have air, and then it starts to fall off. They have system, call, the best. So within those 1 and 2 keywords, I think they did a really great job harping on their location and their industry. Obviously, not in the order that I would like it in, but not a bad idea. They did use that industry specific keyword as well as that location. And you're also seeing the power of having that location based keyword in there because even though they're not doing the best with their keyword strategy, they're still able to rank really high in the San Antonio area by putting that location in there. So definitely something to think about. Use this as kind of a guide for your keywords. Obviously, I wouldn't say to copy it directly because they didn't fully optimize, but definitely something to think about and kind of a guide for your own keywords. Now let's go back to your website and talk about external search engine optimization. Talking about external SEO, and unlike internal SEO, external SEO is going to be everything you can do off of your website to improve your search appearance. Now, in this case, we're going to be talking about backlinking. Backlinking, very simple. It's just a link from one website to another. But from an SEO perspective, it's a lot more than that because what that does is it transfers SEO power from one website to another and essentially acts as a reference to Google saying, hey, I trust the information on this website or I trust this company. So a very powerful statement by getting one backlink from one website to another. Now, it's really important that we focus on quality links when we're backlinking though, because just like a good link can tell Google that we're an amazing website or a trustworthy website, a bad link can tell Google that we are a harmful or spammy website as well. You see it all the time when people buy, $50 worth of backlinks on Fiverr and they get 10,000 backlinks they throw on their website and they immediately tank in ranking, 50 to 60 spots. So definitely want to focus on the quality of our backlinks because like I said, bad backlinks can really hurt us in our rankings. So let's take a look at your current backlink structure with a tool I have called Ahrefs and determine, what you're doing as far as backlinking so far. Here we are on Ahrefs and you can see your website is plugged in. This is specifically related to your AC repair page. So we don't have any UR. We have a 6 DR, and then we have one backlink built to this page, but we're not generating any traffic. Now, obviously, I could go through the metrics here, but let's go to one of your competitors and kind of take a look at the metrics so that we can see them in action and see how they work when we have that external backlink structure going for us. So we're sticking with Comfort Boys here, and you'll see that they have a 21 UR, a 1.1 DR, which puts them in the top 100 for 945 keywords, generates them about 1,400 users every single month. But let's talk about, these metrics. What is UR? What is DR? So UR stands for URL rating, and what that is the individual power given to a single page. So in this case, we're just talking about this home page and the power that it generates. Now, DR, on the other hand, stands for domain rating, and what that is the power that goes through an entire website. So now we're not just talking about the home page anymore. We're talking about all the cooling pages, the heating pages, the venting pages. All those pages are summarized in DR. So definitely something to think about. We want the strongest of both worlds. You clearly see that there's a correlation between a strong SEO internal structure as well as having a strong external SEO structure and the type of traffic that you can generate. But, Comfort Boys wasn't the number one in their area, so let's keep working down the line here. So we have Will Fix It. They have a 34 UR and a 12 DR. This generates them about 4,000 organic users every single month. And then if we keep working our way down, we have Armendia. Armendia has a 38 UR and 11 DR. It generates about 2,800 users per month. But something to really notice here is the traffic value, which is at $82,000 a month. Traffic value is a stat that determines the buyer intent of each keyword. So what I mean by buyer intent is that somebody who looks up air conditionings may be looking for a picture of an air conditioner, maybe is looking for an AC installation, maybe they're looking for a repair, but you don't know because they're just looking up AC or air conditioning. So somebody who's looking up AC repair, on the other hand, is directly looking for some sort of repair service, and it's very obvious, and that generates more buyer intent and raises the value of this traffic value. So, like I said, definitely something to think about. They have a little bit less traffic than the company I showed you before, but their traffic value is much, much higher. But let's go back to the Google search engine results page and take a look at the Google Map Pack. So we're back on the Google search engine results page, and if we scroll down here, you're going to notice what we've been talking about is down below in the organic search results. But if we scroll back up here, we have this map here. What is this? So this is the Google Map Pack, and it's really important because it gives businesses essentially a second place that you can win on Google. You can win down below like we talked about, or you can win in the map pack. And if you can get the number one result in both, you essentially guarantee that 1,600 people see your business first before looking at another competitor. So definitely something to think about as far as, how much potential is out there. Let's talk about, how do we get into this map pack and how do we rank in the map pack? So to get into the map pack, we first have to fill out the Google My Business form and verify via postcard, which is 100% free to do. But to rank in the map pack, we have to adhere to the different factors that Google's looking for. So what the map pack looks for is number one, that you filled out that form to 100%. The reason I say 100% is because the more information you give Google, the more reputable your business looks. Number two, they look for a strong organic presence, which is why SEO is so important because it also has influence up here as well as being able to rank you down below. And then number three, what they're looking for is citations. Now, citations are all the different places your business's name, address, and phone number are listed online. Some popular citations are things like Yelp, maybe Yellow Book, the Yellow Pages. All those different places are citations you can get for your business. But let's talk about how many citations each of these companies has and determine how many you'll need to go in and start outranking them. Use called White Spark. And if you look, the order goes from bottom to top here. We had San Antonio Air Service Experts with 40 citations, Atlas AC Repair with 23, and Tiger Services Air Conditioning and Heating at 41. Now, this is a lot of citations, but once again, they are very beatable. Normally, I recommend getting double the biggest amount in there. So if it's 41, we're going to need 82 citations to really go above and beyond here, along with all of our internal and external SEO factors. So this is definitely something to think about because there's a lot of potential out there if you can rank number one in both. But once again, this is all I have for you in this video. I hope it was very educational. I hope it was very helpful. Once again, my name is Justin Gilman with Quantum Leads. We'd love to set up a meeting with you to talk further about anything not mentioned in this video, or even any questions you may have about this video. However, thanks for watching. Once again, I hope this was very helpful. And like I said, thanks for watching.